So the first season, dear God, of Book of Boba Fett has come to a close, and not even the Mandalorian could save it. It just wasn't any good. So that's the easy summary of it. So yeah, I'm gonna spoil some things as I go through this. As for, this is a turning point and this signals, not really. And it might, I suppose, but it just kind of leaves it open however you want to look at it, I guess. As far as, will they go to the sequel trilogy? Will they abandon it? I mean, I guess all eyes should be on the Ahsoka Tano series for that sort of thing, is my guess. So basically, of course, the episode is predictable, and it's the big battle between Boba Fett and the Pike Syndicate, and so that's exactly what you get. Unfortunately, as the setup of the show, he doesn't have much going for him. All he's got is those idiot cyber kids, and it's a bit of a minimum to some extent, but it's too much of them. And they go full CW with those kids, and you never go full CW. Well, I mean, to be fair, they didn't actually do the dialogue of "You're beautiful, you're more powerful than you know, you got this." Well, in a roundabout way, they did, but. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So the fight is just kind of stupid here and there. There's some cool moments. There's a cool moment where Boba Fett and Mandalorian or Din Djarin team up, and they're flying around and fighting the mob, And then after it appears they've got a victory, and they're pretty sure the Freetown guys aren't coming. Cad Bane showed up and told Boba the score. Boba the score. And they almost have a shootout, but Fennec talks him out of it because she's like, you're not up to this, And he wasn't. So they don't have the shootout just yet. And the big fight breaks out. And then the Freetown guys show up. And I thought it might have been somewhat in doubt if Marshal Cobb Vanth had died in the last episode, but then the guy says they shot him down in cold blood. So I said, he's dead. So they want revenge and all that. So they join Boba Fett and they're fighting. But then here come the big guns, which are these two giant robots that are sort of like the droids from the prequels, only they're much bigger, that can have those shields around them. So you can shoot at them all you want, but it doesn't do any good. Even though they know this, they keep shooting at it. But anyway, they basically look like giant robot crabs. So, the Pikes have crabs. So the crabs attack, and it doesn't look good. And so Boba tells Din Djarin to hold the fort while he flies away. But this was leading to something they did allude to with Danny Trejo. He's not in the episode, but he did train the Rancor. So, of course, when all seems lost, here comes Boba Fett riding the Rancor. And it's, toppling buildings and fighting the crabs. And so that's all well and good. So, meanwhile, here's where we get to the overall spoilery stuff of whether or not this was a signal to separating off on a different path into the sequel trilogy. So Baby Yoda Grogu shows up. The X-Wing fighter with R2 in it, and you're thinking, oh my God, is Luke going to show up in this one too? No, it's just Baby Yoda, and R2 was driving, taking him home because, I don't know, Luke was busy with other stuff. So the X-Wing fighter parks at What's-Her-Face's, auto shop, and she's basically taking care of him at that point and going to take him to Din Djarin. But it's in the middle of the big battle and all that, so he really doesn't have time for the reunion. And Din Djarin's getting beaten pretty bad by the crab, And so Grogu steps forward, and he is wearing the Mandalorian shirt. So there you go. He's made his choice. Obviously, he's back. But I kind of wondered if they chose a third path, because at one moment I was expecting him to suddenly whip out Yoda's lightsaber and join Din Djarin in the fight. Din Djarin kept trying to use the dark saber, and not very well. But no, he just used the Force to crush part of the crab, and then he passes out, and then the Rancor shows up and tears it apart. Then he's got to fight the other one and all that. But then the Rancor goes crazy because Boba gets thrown off and has to battle Cad Bane. So then Din Djarin tries to tame it, but he can't do it and nearly kills him. And then Grogu shows up using the Force and makes the Rancor take a nap. And then he curls up next to it and takes a nap too. Tee-hee. So there you go. So he chose Din Djarin. He's not going to be a Jedi, so that means he's not Luke's first student. And so the conclusion is that they will move on with Ben Solo being the first student, leading to the terrible, awful Disney sequel trilogy. However, one could say it's still open. Groku's still using the Force. The Ahsoka Tano series, I think, could possibly delve further into these things, and there could be, certainly I would think Luke would have to appear in that, especially as they suggest this relationship between the two. You need to, did they have a conversation about what happened to Anakin and all that sort of stuff? It's the kind of thing you would want. If they just leave that there, that's pretty stupid and sloppy. But, we'll have to see. But at this point, Grogu has decided not to stay with Luke. So you can make that of what you will. But it doesn't look good. You can understand Grogu wanting to be back with Din Djarin, but there's other plot devices that they could do where that happens anyway and all that. But this is what they're doing. So there's that. Finally the confrontation between Boba Fett and Cad Bane, which just goes to show you that Cad Bane could have been an excellent rival and villain for the entirety of the series. They didn't do it. He's wasted here. To even suggest that he might have been some kind of mentor to Boba Fett in his early days and all this sort of stuff. And they had the shootout. Looks like Cad Bane's winning. But then Boba Fett gets the drop on him because he knows how to use his Sand People stick. And that's it for Cad Bane, it looks like. So it's just wasted. What are they doing? But maybe they can say, oh, he survived. He's got... he actually has cool cybernetic parts on him, unlike the idiot cyber kids. So there you go. Meanwhile, Finnick wipes out the bosses of the syndicate. So, and I don't know, maybe they were setting that as aware. That wasn't necessarily a part of Boba's plan because he wants to be nice guy Boba now. And so I suppose, but whatever, that there could be a break between the two because she's more violent or whatever, but it doesn't matter. I have no interest in another season of this crap. This was lazy, slapped together stuff. You got 2 episodes of The Mandalorian that were cool, sandwiched in this thing. There's no saving it. This was a failure of a show. Primarily, it's called The Book of Boba Fett. Boba Fett doesn't get respect. He doesn't get a motivation. He doesn't get explained. It's nothing. So that's pretty bad. And even if they had some big surprise to win people over and stuff, you're in no position to be doing lazy, lackluster work like this. So, but they did, and that's that. So, there is a teaser. In the credits, and it's the Bacta tank, and Chris, the Black Wookiee. He gets badly wounded, and Boba says, "You can use my Bacta tank to heal," but it's not him in it. The Wookiee's walking around. I guess he's fine. It's a brief glance. I backed it up to look at it again. To me, it looks like Marshall Vanth is in there, and then the Rick James Cyber Kid is getting ready to do surgery, so I guess he's going to do some cybernetic parts on Marshall Vanth. Or, is it Cad Bane instead? I don't think so. I don't know that he has hair. He was very pale looking, but so I would have thought there'd be a tint of blue. So I'm guessing I'm going with it's Vanth laying in there, and they're gonna, I don't know, give him a robot arm or some crap. Who cares? It's similar to what they did with Fennec earlier on, giving her robot guts. So I don't care, because another season of all of this crappy version of Boba Fett, I'm not interested in it. So see what the Obi-Wan show does, and then of course Ahsoka show. But other than that, that was it. There was no Han Solo, so I'm thinking that was a bait and switch leak. Maybe he'll show up in one of the other shows. I doubt it, because there was supposed to be someone spotted him on a set or at Lucasfilm or whatever. Yeah, maybe. But it was just a bait and switch to hide the fact that Luke Skywalker was going to show up again. So there you go. But the other item, I guess, of hope, which is vanishing rather rapidly, is that I suspected, oh no, what if it's Han and Leia show up, and Luke is there too, and that Luke did play some role in the final episode, and then Han and Leia show up to announce, either she's pregnant or, hey, Ben Solo's having problems, Luke, and I think you need to take him on. And there's this little boy there, and Luke's like, oh, okay, so now he does have a student, and of course it's Ben Solo. And then we know where that's going. Yeah. But they didn't do that, so I guess you can cling to some other series is going to say, guess what? We're going to the Veil of the Force and changing everything. So, yeah, maybe the Ahsoka Tano show will do that. Certainly has the symbols of the Veil of the Force in the logo of her series, so there is that, I suppose. But there's nothing here other than Grogu chose to wear the shirt and not take the lightsaber. So it was just a bad show. There just wasn't a lot here. It's just 2 episodes of Mandalorian. That doesn't save the just terrible production of and writing on this show. So that's it. Too bad for Boba Fett. I think he deserved far better, but he's not going to get it. Not the way they left things, and it's a little late to try to figure out how to explain him now. That would just be stupid at this point, and they missed it even within the second episode, in my opinion. So really bad on this, and that's unfortunate. As for the rest, who knows? Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on radiomisfits.com. BitChute.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.